Hello everyone, welcome to my Emmerdale channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Terrified bear caught by Rye in frightening early Emmerdale ITV episode. The stakes have never been higher for Beowulf as a desperate search for freedom leads to a heart-stopping confrontation with his captor. Ray Walters was alarmed in today's episode of Emmerdale as he caught Beowulf snooping about in the farmhouse. The tension in the scene was palpable as the lovable mechanic narrowly avoided a fate worse than death. It is heartbreaking to recall how Bear was captured by Rye earlier this year and taken to Celia Daniels' farm. At the time, the beloved character was feeling isolated from his family, and Ray took advantage of this by telling Bear that his son no longer cared about him. This psychological manipulation was cruel but effective. Ray expertly preyed on Bear's insecurities, isolating him not just physically, but emotionally, to ensure his compliance. Bear has been working alongside a number of vulnerable adults, but has no idea at the moment that they're all being exploited. His innocence in this situation makes the reality of his predicament even more tragic. Ray and Celia have both manipulated Bear into believing that the life he's living on the farm will continue for the foreseeable. So any mention of it being a bad place to live has left Bear unsure. This gaslighting has been difficult to watch as it has kept a strong man docile for far too long. However, the cracks are finally beginning to show. On Monday, Bear was made to dig Anna's grave following her death. The fact that Anna has a daughter got Bear thinking about Paddy Kirk afterwards, and how there's a possibility he could die and Paddy wouldn't know what happened to him. This was the breaking point. Standing over a shallow grave forces a man to confront his own mortality. I think the realization that he could disappear without a trace, leaving his son with no answers, terrified Bear more than Rye ever could. Rye told Bear that he's well within his right to leave the farm and find his son, but manipulated him into staying by reminding him that he has a small amount of money and also nowhere to stay. It was a calculated risk by Ray, offering freedom while highlighting Bear's helplessness. However, at the moment, Ray doesn't know that Bear's son lives down the road from the farm. The dramatic irony here is delicious. Ray is playing games, unaware that Bear's salvation is geographically so close. Two of the other slaves, Mick and Simo, then told Bear that he could see his son again by joining their escape plan. Bear pondered over their idea, genuinely unsure as to whether he should leave. The fear of the unknown was battling against his love for Paddy. In today's episode, though, it seemed Bear was on their side as he headed downstairs to the kitchen of the farmhouse in search of some keys. Just as he spotted them, Bear was caught by Rye. My heart was in my mouth during this sequence. For a split second, it looked like the game was up. He covered by claiming that he was looking for some pills that he's regularly given. Because Ray isn't as switched on as his mom, he believed Bear's comments. This moment highlights a crucial weakness in the villainous duo. Ray's arrogance leads him to underestimate his captives. Ray called Bear a good man, but warned him that he may face some consequences if he overstepped the mark. Ray's condescension makes him all the more loathsome. He handed Bear some more drugs, oblivious as to what was hiding in his pocket. In a triumphant reveal in the attic, Bear presented Mick and Simo with the keys. He had managed to swipe them right from under Ray's nose. He told them they need to escape tomorrow because Rye will be out. The determination in Bear's eyes marked a significant shift in his character. The victim is finally fighting back. The trio knew that if they were caught, they'd get in serious trouble with Celia and Rye, but it was a risk they were willing to take. Will they succeed with their plan? Is Bear coming home? With the clock ticking and Ray's temper shortening, the slightest mistake could turn their bid for freedom into a tragedy. One thing is certain, life on the farm is about to explode.